You know what time it is. It's time for us to get our one plan, 1 month, and do one shop this week. So let's get it going. Fall has officially come. What have you been serving this month for dinner? Now, that's the question. You should look at your plan. And I'm going to turn you around so you can see my plan. Because, in spite of the fact that I do this all the time, sometimes I have a couple of days that, number one, I'll forget to put it down. And then at the end of the week, I have to go back and try to rethink, what did I cook on that day? And then other days, I'm on it. Some weeks I'm ahead and I've got the whole week planned out. But you know what? Life gets in the way. And I'm sure that's the same thing for you. So let's turn around. Let's see how I've done. And this month, I think what I will do for you is that in the description box, I'm going to start to list a month of meal ideas. And then you can look them over, tweak them, decide whether or not it's worth your time. And if it's helpful, let me know. All right, in front of you, you're going to see that I have our last shopping excursion, or at least curbside anyway. And so, as you can see, this was our list. We had everything here, and this is an accumulated list that was accumulated over the month. So as I saw that things were running out, I jotted it down on the list. Then I decided whether or not I was going to go to Kroger or to have Walmart or have Wegmans or have Publix or whichever store that I was going to shop at. And then I took care of that on the computer. And I'll link the video below where we took a look at that. Now, when we ended, we were at the point of where we were entering September. Here's September 1st, and as you can see on our grocery side, I put in some little decorative page, and just to kind of hide that, because we didn't need to do that. So we're continuing through September. Now, I told you that sometimes we'll run into weeks and life gets in the way, and we'll have moments where I will forget to jot things down, and I did that. So I'm not even trying to pull your leg. It's blank. So let's keep moving. Now, the next week I did better. I made sure I had everything written down. I tried to keep this right in the kitchen so that as I'm thinking and working through it, that I could put in whatever my ideas were, or as I was looking at magazines or recipe books or newspapers or whatever it might be, that I could use that and decide on what I was going to do with what I had in my refrigerator, because that's the trick. I usually take out at least 3 to 4 days of some type of meat, fish, and poultry, and I just kind of divide those up as to what it's going to be, typically one of each. And then I decide on what the meals are going to be. Now notice for the week of the 14th, see how blank that is over here in the grocery area? I did not have to write anything down because what I was accumulating was my one shop, 1 month, and of course this is our one plan that we use. So for this week, I already have my meals, I have the meat, and whatever else that may have been frozen. I've taken all of those things, I've put them into the refrigerator so they can thaw slowly. And those things that I knew I was going to do, say Monday and Tuesday, for instance, the pork chops and the ground beef for the meatballs, I took those out on Saturday. Now, everything else, I did that today so that I would have these and they wouldn't be in the refrigerator too long. Now, here is my accumulated grocery list. Now, let me tell you, I made the mistake of going into Wegmans with hubby today. And wow, it was really a lot of fun because, I love going to a grocery store. The reality of it is, I didn't have my list. And, I picked up things that after I got to the car, I thought, did I really need that? But oh well, I had fun, right? So I still had to come back and take a look at those necessary things because when hubby goes, hubby is looking at his snacks and the things that he likes to nibble on, the things he likes for lunch. And I'm okay with that because we do not always agree on whatever lunch is going to be. And so whatever it is that he wants for lunch, he's on it. So I just give him that time to be able to do that. Also on my list, I'm taking care of those things that are important, like my washing liquid for the clothes, my dishwashing liquid. And you know what, this month we're going to need Halloween candy. So I know those things are going to need to be picked up. Eggs, those kind of things. I could have picked them up today, but I didn't because I already have this, all of this, plus in my Kroger cart for my curbside delivery. So what I'm going to do is to just flip over because we're going to take a look at next week. Now next week, as you know, Monday, Tuesday, we are looking at still September. But beginning on Wednesday, or actually Thursday, we will be deep into October. So, beginning October 1st, we're going to be looking at a whole new calendar. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, like I said, I'm going to put our menu items, my menu items that I have for September. I have my big calendar. I have started putting my goodies into that big calendar so that we could look at it. I'm going to make a list of these for you so that you will have 30 days of meal ideas and you'll have it listed. Hopefully I'll be able to get all of it down in the description box. You know what? It's amazing. I went outside. It was so nice and quiet. It was just the perfect temperature, a place where we girls and guys could be together, look at our menu plan, and just relax. But guess what? Somebody came out and decided that they were going to start blowing their leaves. How dare they? All right. So, what we're going to do at this point is we're going to stop for a minute and I'm going to just say to you, that we are working hard trying to continue to share and to grow the channel. I am asking you to please, if you are not a member of the family, to please subscribe and certainly join us on our journey. We started our autumn in the kitchen for the kitchen early because, as you know, and I'll put a little clip in here, hubby and I were a part of a neighborhood magazine and our house was featured. So I'll take you through that process and show you that. But also, we started autumn early because, well, it was fun. And when you're in the middle of a pandemic, you do things when you feel like it because it makes you feel good. Now, so this is what we're going to do. We are going to hit that subscribe button right now, please. And you're going to tap that little bell icon. So every time I upload, whether it's for recipes, whether it's for decorating, you're going to know exactly what's going on in the House of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme, where we work hard. We love God and family, and we know without a doubt that everything else is just gravy. So let's get into the kitchen tonight and let's cook up something good. Pork chops and apples are on the menu tonight, and I'm going to prepare it in my thrifted griddle. And it is a cast iron skillet with a griddle bottom. And I've gotten it all cleaned up and got him shined up, and he still has a little more polishing yet that can be done, but he's ready to cook. You know, it's really all about the personality of the skillet. So we are waiting for this to be nice and hot to where the smoke is going, and once it's smoky, you know that it's ready to start cooking. So we're going to get that ready. So while we're doing that, we're also going to prepare the pork chops. I'm pretty particular about my pork chops, and these in particular I really like. You notice there's two, and that's just perfect for us, but they're also 1 inch thick. And when you prepare these pork chops, you really have to do a terrible job of cooking in order to make them dry. They are going to come out nice and moist, and they're very consistent. Now I'm going to spice them up. So we're going to add some garlic powder first, and you're going to see that my garlic powder is just about out. So I'm going to put a little bit on the front, and I'm going to take care of the first side. There's some onion powder going, and we've got some paprika that we're going to add to it to give it a little extra color and flavor, and it's smoky. So let's just get a little bit of that on there. And I'm not going to, do too much to them, but just enough to give them lots of good flavor. There's our pepper. We're going to sprinkle that. And, we got our plan finished. So this is a part of our plan for the month of September. So here we go. We've got our salt, because we need salt. Those pork chops did not come salted. So I'm going to grab a fork, and we're going to flip those over. So I'm just going to take that fork and just kind of spread everything all over it. I even added a little bit of oil. Now notice that I'm kind of taking my fork and going at it. And I'm just punching little holes in, because what I want is for the juices of the apples to go into those pork chops, and it's just going to sweeten them up, going to give them that apple flavor. So we are just getting those prepared. Now look at that griddle skillet. It is nice and hot, and it's ready to receive the pork chops. So we're going to get those in there. I'm fiddling with the microwave as well, because I've got some broccoli I'm preparing for tonight's dinner, because this part of it is going to go pretty quickly. So I'm just playing with those, getting things out of the way, throwing them away. I'm going to wash my hands, and we'll be ready to move on. So let's flip those pork chops over. Look at that color, guys. They're delicious. And I promise you, because the heat is up so high, those pork chops are going to be perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now it's time to add our apples. And our apples have already been seasoned with brown sugar and granulated sugar. And just a reminder, the recipe is down in the description box. I wouldn't leave you out. And you are hopefully accumulating your notebook of recipes as well. So as you see things, keep a notebook, have everything right there. Or if you're one who keeps your list on your phone or your documents on your phone, then you can put it there. But these apples are going to just bubble. They're going to make a sauce, and they are going to sweeten those pork chops. Look at those. They're ready. So let's serve it up. We've got our broccoli that's nice and hot. Getting that on the plate. Look at those chops over there. They're calling your name. Yes, yes, yes. let's get ready to eat. So I've divided my broccoli up between the big guy and myself. You know, this meal came together pretty quickly. And because the apples had already been prepared, you know, I had those in the freezer. We did those way back in August. And so they've just been sitting there in the freezer waiting for any dish or meal that I wanted to use them in. So we've got our apples on the plate. I purposely left the skin on them. And the good thing about that is that it holds those apples together. So there's our pork chops on that dish. And these I'm going to sit off to the side. And I'm going to use those for breakfast. Yummy. So we're ready to go. You know, it's impolite to talk with your mouth full. So I am going to cut into our pork chop. It's nice and hot and juicy. And we're going to have a taste. Look at that. Look at that. That's those inch thick pork chops. And they are so good. So I need pork chop and apple. Oh my goodness. They are so good. Yummy. Don't mess around, guys. Let's get some apple. They're good and hot. I've already given the big guy his plate, and I'm in here sneaking a couple of bites of mine. Let's get one more in. Let's see what we can do. I am so glad that you've been with me today. We've planned and we've cooked together. What better way to spend the day? Come on, get your plate. Let's go. Pork chops with apples. Delicious. Enjoy your fall evening. I hope you have had a wonderful time in the kitchen, and I hope that you will continue to be a part of the Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme family. I have certainly enjoyed your presence.